I need to talk to you, Aiden. I looked up from the menu. Sure, are you okay? She wasn't. I could tell. Her smile was tight, eyes darting to the entrance behind me. I don't think this is working anymore. My heart dropped. What? You're sweet? She said, voice flat. But you're stuck. You're dreaming too much and doing too little. Finesse, what are you talking about? I've been working on the app nonstop. I've pitched it to 3 investors this week. And none said yes, right? Her gaze cut through me. You're chasing fairy dust. I'm tired. So you're ending things because I'm not rich. I'm ending things because I want a life that moves forward, not one that drags in circles. I swallowed hard. Is this about someone else? She looked past me. I turned around. Mr. Grant. Tall, sharp suit, smug face. You've got 2. Be kidding me. I didn't plan for it to happen. Didn't plan. Vanessa, he's your boss. He's successful. He believes in me. He's taking me to Paris next week. Paris. I laughed, bitter and stunned. You were just in my bed 2 nights ago. That was a mistake, she muttered. A mistake? My voice cracked. You told me you loved me. I thought I did, she said coldly. But love doesn't pay bills. I stared at her, mouth open. You really mean that? Sorry, she whispered, though her eyes weren't sorry. He can give me everything you can't. Money, security, respect. A future. I was building one with you, and it wasn't fast enough. I stood up. So what now? You just walk away with him. She nodded. Mr. Grant stepped closer, arms crossed. Is there a problem here? No, Vanessa said, grabbing her purse. We're done. I looked at her one last time. This isn't love. This is selling yourself. She flinched, then looked away. Think what you want. She slipped her hand into his. They walked out like nothing mattered. Like 2 strangers passing by the ruins of what I thought was real, I dropped back into the seat. My fingers were trembling. The waitress came by. You still want to order? No, I muttered. Just the check. She placed it down gently, giving me a sympathetic glance. I didn't need sympathy. I needed air. Outside. It was raining. I didn't bother covering my head. My mind raced, heart pounding, soaking in the truth. She chose money over love. She chose him over me. She called our love a mistake. I walked 4 blocks in silence, every step heavier than the last. By the time I reached my apartment, my clothes were drenched, but I didn't feel the cold. I felt empty. Jason was inside, gaming. On the couch. Dude, you look like death. What happened? She left me. He muted the TV. What? Who? Vanessa? She's with her boss now, Mr. Grant. Jason stood up, jaw tightening. That snake-looking guy from her firm? I nodded. You serious? Dead serious, bro. I'm sorry, I shrugged. She said I'm not going anywhere. That she wants a future with him, apparently. Jason cursed under his breath. Want me to key his car? That made me crack a dry laugh. No, let her go. He sat next to me. You okay? No, he didn't say anything else. Just sat with me. Sometimes that's enough. I stared at the ceiling that night. Sleep didn't come. My thoughts didn't stop. I kept hearing her voice. He can give me everything you can't. Everything I can't. I clenched my fists. Maybe she was right. Maybe I was chasing dust. But if she thought that was the end of my story, she had no idea who I could become that night. I made a promise. I wouldn't cry over her again. I wouldn't chase her again. I'd resand. I'd make sure she saw it. And when she did, she'd wish she'd never walked away. You got laid. Off to? Jason asked, eyes wide as I dropped my duffel on his floor. Startup folded, I muttered. No severance. It's just a mass Zoom call and a locked Slack channel. Damn, man. That's brutal. I sank onto his couch. I got dumped and fired in the same week. Think I've hit some sort of cosmic jackpot. You need a beer? I need a new life. Jason tossed me a can. You can crash here as long as you want. Just don't touch my cereal. I forced a smile. Thanks. That first night on his couch, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling like it had answers. I kept hearing Vanessa's voice. I'll never make it. He can give me everything you can't. Maybe she was right, bro. You job hunting or just daydreaming again? Jason called the next morning. Both. He leaned on the doorframe. You applying or just scrolling? Applying, I lied. Clicking random listings. He didn't push. If you need quick cash, Manny's bar down the block is hiring. I nodded. I'll check it out. 3 nights later, I was wiping down tables at Manny's for minimum wage and free wings. Wasn't glamorous, but it kept my mind busy. You look like you used to own this place, Manny joked once. I used to own a dream. That's close enough. During slow shifts, I pulled out napkins and sketched app ideas. I couldn't stop thinking about tech. Ideas kept pouring in messy, raw, half-coded in my head. You some kind of coder? An older man asked one night. Sipping bourbon neat. Trying to be, I said, just broke. You design apps? Trying to? You build. On my own. Nothing finished yet. He tapped the napkin. That one looks interesting. It's a social scheduling tool. AI-assisted calendar meets accountability tracker. Dumb idea, I know. Actually, he said, smiling, that's not dumb at all. I blinked. You think? He offered his hand, Winston. Call me Mr. Winston. I shook it. Aiden, next night, he came back. You always think out loud on napkins. It's cheaper than therapy, he laughed. Tell you what, I've seen a lot of startups crash before takeoff, but I've also seen some win because the founder didn't quit. You still believe in your ideas? I want to. Then prove it, build it. You've got a brain and hustle. That's rare. Why are you telling me this? Because I see potential. And because I believe in betting on the underdog. I didn't know what to say. Come by my office tomorrow, he said, handing me a card. Bring something worth showing. Jason raised an eyebrow when I told him. What, some random old guy at the bar wants to invest in you? He's not random. His name's on the card. Turns out, he's a tech angel investor. Jason smirked. Only you would get scouted wiping tables. I didn't get scouted, I got noticed. You going, hell yes. Stayed up the entire night coding. I didn't eat. I didn't shower. I barely blinked by sunrise. I had a working prototype. You look like roadkill, Jason said as I buttoned my shirt. Perfect. Investors love desperation. I walked into Mr. Winston's office, shaking. He sat me down, looked at my demo, and didn't say a word for 10 minutes. Then he leaned back. Rough, raw, but brilliant. My chest tightened. Seriously? You've got something? And more importantly, you've got grit. I'll help you polish it. Connect you with people, but you're doing the work. I will. I promise. He smiled, then welcome to the deep end. The months that followed were chaos. I worked 2 jobs, barely slept, lived off instant noodles and adrenaline. My first pitch failed. So did the second. I rebuilt, adjusted, learned. Jason became my unofficial cheerleader. Still broke, still fighting. He tossed me protein bars, Sten, eat, and code. Genius. Nights on his couch turned into planning sessions. Rejections turned into learning curves. Mr. Winston kept pushing me. You're too soft here, he said, pointing at my app's UI. What's your edge? I don't want users. I want loyalty. I want it to matter. He looked at me and nodded. Then make it matter. By month 6, I had a product. By month 8, I had a partner. By month 10, I wasn't broke anymore, and I hadn't thought about Vanessa in weeks. Launch day, huh? Jason asked, tossing me a breakfast bar. Nervous? I haven't slept in 2 nights. What do you think? Fair. But hey, at least you've got something to launch. That's more than most people. I checked my laptop. It's live. Jason leaned over my shoulder. So now what? Now I wait. I waited 2 weeks. The app tanked. No downloads. Jason asked carefully. 2 were me. 1 was you. The other was some bot in Indonesia. Ouch. I thought it was good. Maybe it was. But maybe people weren't ready. I didn't answer. I just opened my laptop and started on version 2. You're seriously starting over. Yep, you're insane. I know. The second app was leaner, sharper, smarter. I pitched it harder, wrote 100 cold emails, booked 5 coffee shop meetings, ghosted me. One didn't. I like this, the guy said. But you're a nobody. No team. No reputation. I have something better, I said. Obsession. He didn't invest, but he gave me feedback. That changed everything. The second app hit the marketant. It worked. Not viral, not massive, but enough to get attention. Enough to pull me out of ramen for breakfast living. You really did it, Jason said, looking at my first paycheck. From a licensing deal, almost, I said. I'm not done. Mr. Winston grinned over coffee. That's the hunger I like to see. Then came app number 3. That one. It exploded. 50,000 downloads in a month. Jason's jaw dropped. It hit product forums. Then TikTok. Someone made a tutorial and it blew up. You're not broke anymore? No, I said, staring at the analytics dashboard. Now I'm dangerous. I started getting emails, offers, partnerships. That's when Marcus called Aiden freaking. Cole, you still alive? Barely? You still running your fund? Yeah, I saw your app in a pitch deck I reviewed last night. Didn't know it was yours. It's mine. Let's meet. He flew in the next week. This is clean, he said, flipping through the slides I prepared. You built all this alone, okay? Mostly Winston mentored me. Jason yelled at me. Can put in $200K? I blinked. What? Seed money? For whatever's next. But I want 10%. You're serious. You've got momentum. Let's turn it into something bigger. I shook his hand. Let's build a company. We rented a small office space. I hired a developer, then a designer. Then Lena's resume looked solid. I told her, I'm organized, fast, and I don't mix business with drama. You're hired. She grinned. Smart move. Within 6 months, we had 10 people, then 20. I walked into an office every morning where people looked to me for decisions. Aiden Lena said one afternoon, your calendar's a mess again. Want me to handle it, please? If I open it again, I might cry. You've got a pitch meeting with Varntech next Friday. Should I confirm? Absolutely. And someone named Vanessa Hart just submitted a resume for project assistant. Froze. What? She applied through a referral. Didn't list your name, obviously. Did she know I own this company? Lena smirked. She probably doesn't even know your name is on the LLC. I leaned back in my chair. Oh, it should. I do. That depends. Want revenge? No, I said. I want her to see what she left behind. Lena crossed her arms. Then schedule her for an interview. You sure? I'll enjoy it, she said. I laughed. You're evil. Efficiently evil. The next day, I looked over Vanessa's resume. It was good, polished, strategic, just like she always was. Sent her the offer to interview. I told Lena, let's see how much has changed. She won't recognize you, Lena said. She will eventually. And when she does, I smiled. I want to see her face. Candidates waiting in the conference room, Ellie said, tapping her tablet. Project assistant slot, name. I asked without looking up. Vanessa Hart. My pen stopped mid-signature. Problem? She asked. I looked up slowly. No, proceed. Sure not. I said, proceed. She nodded and walked out. I stood behind the tinted glass window, heart hammering. I hadn't seen her in 2 years. Now she was 20 feet away, sitting at my table, holding a resume addressed to my company. I waited. Vanessa Hart. Ellie said brightly. Yes, she replied, voice calm, professional. I'm Ellie from HR. You were referred by Maya Trent, correct? That's right. Great. Let's get started. We'll be reporting directly to the CEO if selected. Vanessa's posture straightened. Really? That's surprising. He prefers to meet final round candidates personally. Ellie, hit the intercom, sir. We're ready for you. I opened the side door and walked in. Vanessa turned. Her eyes met mine. For one perfect second, she didn't recognize me. Then she blinked. Aiden. Her voice cracked. I nodded once. Vanessa. Looked like she'd seen a ghost. This is your company? Yes, this whole thing. You're the CEO. I am. I didn't know. Maya just told me it was a great opportunity. I sat across from her, calm. It is, for the right person. I had no idea you. It's fine. Let's get started, shall we? Ellie raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. Vanessa fumbled with her resume. I have over 3 years of administrative experience, including coordinating travel, managing schedules, and liaising with clients. Why'd you leave your last job? I interrupted. She hesitated. The company restructured. I was part of the cuts. No other reason. Her eyes dropped. That was the official reason. I let silence hang. She shifted in her seat. Look, I know how this looks. I'm just here to evaluate your qualifications. I didn't come here because of you, I swear. You came here because you needed a job. She flinched. Yes, I leaned back. You're qualified. Right. What? You're qualified, I repeated. You'll start Monday. Ellie stared at me. You're serious? I am. Vanessa opened her mouth, then closed it. Thank you. I won't let you down. I hope not. She stood slowly. Thank you again. Welcome aboard, I said, voice cool. Ellie will handle onboarding. Vanessa followed her out, stiff and quiet. I stayed behind Dot alone, breathing, laughing once under my breath. Karma. Didn't knock. It walked in wearing heels and asked for a second chance. Vanessa's behind on the product brief again. Lena said, tapping her notepad. That's the third one this week. She sent a half-baked draft last night. Missing stats? No formatting. Sloppy? Did you tell her? I sent notes. She ignored them. I sighed. Give her the client portfolio rework. Akena raised a brow. That's high level. Wanted to prove herself, remember? She's gonna drown. She asked for the deep end. Later that afternoon, I walked past Vanessa's desk. Her screen was cluttered, charts jumbled, eyes puffy, jaw clenched. You okay? I asked. She jumped slightly. Yes, just compiling reports. That's due tomorrow, I know. I didn't say anything else. I didn't need to by Friday. The presentation was a mess. No headers. Mismatched fonts. Data from last quarter, Lena said quietly. She submitted this to Varntech. She did. I caught it before they saw it. She's slipping, I muttered. She's unraveling, Lena corrected. The next week, Vanessa stayed late every night. I'd see her through the glass typing fast, deleting, retyping. One evening, I found her staring blankly at the break room wall. You need help? I asked. She looked up slowly. Do you want me to fail? I crossed my arms. No, I want you to do your job. You're giving me impossible deadlines. You said you could handle anything. That was before you started setting me up to crash? Is that what you think I'm doing? She stood, voice rising. You're doing this on purpose. I leaned in. No, Vanessa. I'm just giving you what you always wanted, a chance to prove yourself. Her lips tightened. You're enjoying this? No, I'm watching it. She looked away. Do you regret applying here? I asked. I regret underestimating what this place demands. Good, I said. Because I don't hand out pity. Later, Lena stepped into my office. That was rough. She needed. You're cold sometimes, Aiden. I'm being fair. She doesn't think so. She didn't think I'd make it either. Lena nodded slowly. Touché. That night, I found an email from Vanessa, timestamp 2:41 a.m. subject. Requesting additional training resources, attachment. None, body, please advise. I want to improve. I didn't reply. Not yet. Wanted her to sit with it, to feel what it meant to ask, to struggle the way I once did alone. Uncertain, underestimated, karma wasn't loud. It whispered, and right now it was whispering her name. Aiden, I turned. Maya stood by the revolving doors, arms crossed. You got a minute? I checked the time for you, always. She stepped closer. You need to hear this about Vanessa. I didn't flinch. What now? She cheated. On Mr. Grant, I raised an eyebrow. That fast. She thought he'd propose. Instead, he caught her messaging his biggest rival. I exhaled through my nose. Figures. She said it was just flirting. He didn't buy it. Fired her. No severance. She got off easy. She told him it was a mistake. She always says that when she's caught. Maya tilted her head. You're not surprised? No, I said. Vanessa's ambition has always been louder than her conscience. She used him. She uses everyone. Maya frowned. You okay? I nodded. This just confirms what I already knew. That evening, I stayed late. Paperwork, strategy decks, expansion timelines. Around 10, I stepped outside for air. The parking lot was quiet except for the soft sound of crying. I followed it. Under the flickering street lamp. There she was, knees pulled to her chest beside a silver sedan. Vanessa. Her makeup smeared. Her hands trembling. She looked up and froze. Our eyes locked. Neither of us spoke. I didn't feel pity. I felt clarity. She opened her mouth slightly, like she wanted to say something, but I didn't wait. I turned and walked away. The next morning, Tyler cornered me at the elevator. Hey, Mr. Cross. Yes. I used to work for Grant. Thought you should know Vanessa. Burned everything over there. I pressed the elevator button. Defined everything. Missed meetings, lied about contracts, took credit for someone else's pitch. Whose? Mine, he said, bitter. She was untouchable until that cheating thing came out. Then she wasn't. Exactly. Grant dropped her so fast she couldn't pack her desk. I nodded. Appreciate the insight. Tyler hesitated. Just be careful. She's charming until she's not. I learned that the hard way. Back in my office, Lena slid a folder across my desk. Vanessa's latest reports. Any improvement? Some? Not enough. She knows she's on thin ice. She also knows you're watching. Good. Lena studied me. You're not gloating. It's nothing to celebrate. She's spiraling. She always does. It's just used to be my fault. Later that afternoon, Vanessa knocked on my door. Come in. She stepped. Inside, slower than usual. Her voice was quiet. Can we talk? I gestured to the chair. Talk. I know things haven't been. Great. I didn't respond. I'm trying. Really? I've seen the effort. She glanced down. It's just some days I feel like the walls are closing in. Pressure reveals character. Her eyes flicked up. You think I'm a failure? I think you're finally being measured by standards you can't manipulate. That's not fair. Neither was what you did to Grant. Lips parted. Or what you tried to do here. I didn't cheat on him, she said, but her voice cracked. You messaged his competitor. It wasn't serious. It never is until you get caught. I made a mistake. You made a choice. She leaned forward. You're enjoying this, aren't you? No, I said flatly. I'm enduring it. Silence. I didn't. Come here to fight. Then why did you come? She blinked hard. To ask for another chance. I stood slowly. Vanessa. I gave you one. She looked away. And you lit it on fire. I'm not that person anymore. Then prove. It, not with words. With results? She swallowed. Okay. I opened the door. She walked out without another word. I watched her go not with hate, but with finality. She built her world on shortcuts and lies. Now it was cracking, and didn't need to lift a finger. She was waiting outside my office. I could see her through the glass, nervous hands clenched, eyes darting between the floor and my door. I opened it slowly. Something you need. Her voice was low. I messed up, Aiden. I didn't reply. She stepped inside. I didn't know where else to go. That's not my problem. Her lips trembled. You were the only one who ever believed in me. I leaned against the edge of my desk and you threw that belief in the trash. I didn't believe in you, she whispered. I thought you'd never go anywhere, but I did. No? And you stayed behind? I said coldly. I deserve that. I crossed my arms. No, you deserve honesty. And the truth is, Vanessa, you made your choices. I didn't think it would end like this. You didn't think at all. She winced. I was young, stupid. I saw power and I ran toward it, and left me behind to burn. Her voice cracked. I didn't know what I was doing. You knew exactly what you were doing, I snapped. You just didn't think I'd recover. Silence stretched. I'm sorry. I laughed bitterly. That's what this is, an apology. Her eyes met mine. You want me to say it louder? I want to know why you're really here. She took a shaky breath. Because I'm drowning and I have no one. I stayed silent. I thought, Grant would be different. I thought he'd fix everything. But you broke him too. I know. I ruined it. All of it. What do you want from me now? I asked. Her voice dropped to a whisper. Another chance. I shook my head slowly. You want me to save you from the fire you lit? Tears spilled from her eyes. I was scared. I still am. We all are, but you look so ... calm. I earned that peace. You don't get to borrow it. I'm not asking you to fix me. Yes, you are. She looked at the ground. I don't expect forgiveness. Good, I said, because you're not getting it. She nodded, shoulders slumping. You used me, Vanessa, lied to me, left me. I know. And now that karma's come knocking, suddenly I matter again. That's not fair. Neither was what you did. Her voice rose. I've changed. No, I said sharply. You've just lost everything. Silence again. I didn't think you'd be this cold. I didn't think you'd be this desperate. I'm not proud of who I was. I'm not responsible for who you became. Her breath hitched. So that's it? It's closure, I said. She turned to leave, then paused. You used to look at me like I was everything, and now I look at you like a warning. She didn't speak. I'll approve your transfer to another department, I added. You'll report to someone else starting tomorrow. I don't want to leave. You already did, I said. Long time ago. She didn't argue. Just opened the door slowly. Before walking out, she looked back one last time. I really am sorry, Aiden. I didn't answer. I just watched her go. Are you sure about this promotion? Ellie asked, handing me the final draft. Lena earned it. She nodded. She's solid, quiet, but sharp. She never asked for more, but always gave it anyway. And Vanessa, I'm not firing her. Ellie blinked. No, I said, signing the papers. Reassign her under your department. She'll be assisting me. Yes, she tilted her head. That's merciful. It's not mercy, I replied. It's clarity. Later that day, Lena knocked on my door. Got a minute? She asked. For you. Always. She stepped inside, still in disbelief. You really meant it. The promotion. You're the new regional director. I didn't think you noticed me. I noticed everything, especially the people who showed up when they didn't have to. Her voice was soft. Thank you. You've earned more than just a title. She smiled. I won't let you down. I know. As she left, I glanced at the clock. Vanessa was due to report to Ellie that morning. I didn't go out of my way to see her. Didn't need to, but she found me anyway. Hi, she said, standing outside the elevator, heading to your new desk. She nodded. I figured you'd send me packing. I don't need to. She swallowed. Thank you. I didn't do it for you. I know, she said. Still, thank you. Her voice held no bitterness, just quiet understanding. Work hard, Vanessa, I will. Weeks passed. She kept her head down, showed up early, left late. No gossip, no power plays, and not once. Did she disrespect anyone again? One afternoon, Ellie approached me in the lounge. She's changed, she said simply. She had to. She's not the same woman who walked in that day. Neither am I. That night, I sat alone in my penthouse, lights low, city glowing beneath me. My phone buzzed. Lena had closed the third expansion deal. I smiled, staring out at the skyline. Everything I'd built, earned, and endured had brought me here. Not for revenge. Not to watch her crawl, but to feel something she'd never given me. Peace. I remembered the pain, the betrayal, the years I questioned my worth. But none of that held me anymore. She couldn't hurt me now because I'd already let go. And in letting go, I'd finally risen. Vanessa handed me this, Ellie said, holding out a folded note. She's gone. I stared at it without taking it. She'd just left. No announcement, no goodbyes. Just the envelope on your desk and her access card turned in. I reached for the note. Slowly, a name was written on the front, small, neat letters. For a second, I didn't want to open it. But I did. Thank you for giving me what I didn't deserve. Dignity. That was it. No excuses. No long explanations. She didn't even tell you in person. Ellie asked. She didn't need to. Okay. I'm not surprised, just quiet. Ellie nodded and left the room. I looked around my office, spacious, sleek, peaceful. No trace of the storm Vanessa once brought. I sat back in my chair and closed my eyes. Dignity. I murmured. She finally understood. I didn't reply to her note. I didn't need to. Karma already had. Later that day, Lena popped her head in. Did you hear? I did. She didn't say goodbye to me either. She probably didn't know how. She changed. You know? Lena said gently. I know, but not enough. No, I said, not enough. She looked tired last week. Worn. Damn, she's been carrying her consequences for a while. Still, I didn't want her to vanish like that. She didn't vanish. She walked away. There's a difference. Lena nodded slowly. Are you glad it's over? I didn't answer right away. I'm at peace with it. That's more than most people get. That evening, I stood by the floor-to-ceiling window again. The skyline painting golden reflections across the glass. I thought of all the things I could have said to Vanessa. How I could have rubbed it in. Reminded her who she threw away. Who I became. But I didn't. I never needed her to know. She'd already felt it. And in her silence, her quiet exit. Her small note, there was more truth than any apology could have. Given me, she didn't just lose a job, she lost the one person who once looked at her like she was everything. And now I looked at her like she was part of a lesson, a closed chapter. I placed the note in my drawer without another word, and I let it stay there, not to remember her, but to remind myself who I'd become. The man she once rejected. He didn't exist anymore. I was the man she could never reach again.